So welcome to Strange Paths, a podcast where we read Choose Your Own Adventure style stories. We're your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Megan, and I have a special guest again.
Hey, it's me, Steven. I'm back.
It's Steven.
Christmas special.
I'm back to my old stomping grounds.
Nice.
I was born here. I'm returning. Oh man, you had to be on the Christmas special? You were just so excited about it?
I've been waiting for it all year.
He's been jingling bells all around me, trying to convince me to let him in. And I did.
I guess you're weak, Megan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finally broke down.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we are doing the same thing we did for Halloween, where we all wrote a tale.
Yep,
Except
the
Steven's
same exact
stupid.
stories.
Yeah, no, they're Christmas flavored.
Oh, okay. Wait, I was supposed to write a Christmas one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Christmas time.
I'll just change some of the things so that it sounds more Christmassy.
And then the Christmas cookie cut off his head and ate all his guts.
Just substitute every "the" with Santa.
That could work.
What's your story called? Wait, does it have the in it, please?
Let's see. It does. So, my story, the augmented version would be called Santa 11th Day of Christmas.
Yay.
We need some of those little bells that we can just jingle the entire time that we
Steven,
record.
where'd you put your bells?
Right.
He doesn't have his bells anymore.
God, what kind of production is this?
At first, I thought you said protection.
I mean, they are good protection if you put them on the door and all the windows and the vents.
I don't think that's going to keep babies away, though.
Might.
I don't it'll alert you to their presence so you can come out and smack it with your baseball bat.
Right, I'm just saying I don't think that should be a part of, sex ed.
I don't know what to tell you, Paul. It's part of it.
Okay.
It's always been part of it.
My hands are coffee wet. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
So, sticky wet?
We don't drink
Yeah.
coffee over here, so.
Hooray. All right. It's time to...
That's all we need.
Well, that's our cue to start the story.
Santa, is that you?
All right, this has 3 minutes left, and then we can start.
All right.
Okay.
That
Let's
sounds
just
good.
sit quietly.
Yeah. Just let it finish.
Okay.
All right, Merry
We
Christmas.
put it on silent. All right.
I have it ready to go. I have it queued. We might have to listen to an ad, but I have it ready.
That's fine.
Sure.
We can always use the sponsorship, so you can pretend it's a sponsor.
Brought to you by Christmas bells.
No, about whatever ad plays.
Oh, okay.
Whatever
Yes.
kind of shenanigans he's been up to on his phone, he'll get an ad for.
Yeah.
If we run an advertisement on this show without actually being sponsored, is it possible that the person sues us for running that ad? Plagiarism of the ad?
I mean,
I don't really know. It might fall under fair use because it's not like we're actually making money off
well,
of
if
this.
we make fun of it the whole time, then it's fine.
Yeah. We just have to assess and judge it. And then
Yeah,
Right.
no one can touch us.
Yeah.
that's true.
That's what we do with most of the stories we don't write.
Don't say that out loud on the podcast. Okay. Delete that.
Anyway, I'll start off with my story,
Yes!
which is called The 11th Day of Christmas.
Santa, 11th day of Christmas.
In the beginning.
In Santa beginning. Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
In the beginning, many claimed to know where the infection started. Some would say it began in a mall, while others claimed it spread from an office Christmas party or a children's hospital. Now, though, as you look over at the two other survivors, the only two people left that you know of, the origin doesn't seem to matter as much anymore. The three of you have lost so much in such a short amount of time. After all, who has time to worry about the past when the present is a constant burden?
I feel so Christmassy right now.
Yeah.
We need to find more food soon, says the girl, staring listlessly into the fire in the middle of the room between the three of you. You had agreed it might be safe since you aren't using the fireplace, but rather some coal and newspaper in the middle of the dilapidated little hovel. I can't do it tonight. I just can't. I have enough trouble sleeping without seeing what's happened to everyone. To my dad, my sister, even my dog, replies the boy, his voice cracking a little as he speaks.
Are you laughing because this is the least Christmassy opening I've ever heard?
A little bit.
Why, when you were saying, like, you don't know where it started, it could have been an office Christmas party or a children's hospital. Why does the office get to have a Christmas party, but the hospital is just still a hospital? Why weren't they having a Christmas party?
Oh,
Yeah.
why are you being so insensitive to the children?
I mean, they could have, but they probably don't have their... The nurses, I imagine, wouldn't have their office party in front of, like, the kids with cancer.
Why? They need the party most of all.
Just feel like they'd be kind of a downer.
They have a party?
They would be full of joy and candy, just like all children.
The children would be a downer for the nurses.
Oh,
Right.
Sorry, my mind doesn't go that dark.
They're like, many more Christmases. Oh.
All right, continuing. She's right, though, you mentioned with a heavy tone after realizing both of them had directed their attention to you a few moments ago. You've never considered yourself to be the de facto leader. In fact, a few days ago, you weren't. Today, though, you're the oldest, and that seems to count for something. The boy sighs, resigning himself to another restless night as you and the girl gather some packs to carry supplies. When the girl empties the last bag, a couple of candy canes bounce across the floor before coming to a rest near the fire. The three of you freeze in place, none daring to speak for what felt like ages before you hear steps up on the housetop.
Wait, I want to tell you guys, Paul is the worst at this song. Up on the housetop,
Yeah.
he doesn't know the words. So he would say, up on the housetop, click, click, click. Wait, down through the chimney, click, click, click. And I was like, wait, do you not know the words? So I was like, continue.
I don't know the words either.
Yeah. It's not about the words, Stephanie. It's about the the feeling.
It's about how
behind
drunk
them.
you are when you're singing it.
Before the boy can let out a yelp, the girl has already covered his mouth, deadening the outburst to a muffled squeak. You can't be sure if the intruder heard since your ears are flooded with the sound of your own heartbeat thumping against your chest. As you try to step cautiously back towards the baseball bat by the door, you see it. Ashes are falling into the fireplace from the chimney, and two black boots have just touched the grate. The intruder folds over itself until it pours out into the room,
Oh, God.
reforming between yourself and the other two. The red suit, the gloved hands, the lopsided red hat. What was once a sight of delight for the three of you now threatens to take away your very essence, to turn you into one of its own, just as it has for every family member, friend, and countless others.
Oh, my God.
The girl steps in front of the boy as he starts to panic, darting his eyes across the walls, looking for a window in a windowless room. Without turning around, you manage to find the bat, but you're also at the door, the only door. What should you do? Do you try to protect the others, risking your own safety in the process, or should you try to get away, letting self-preservation make the decision for you?
I want to hit Santa.
If you decide to intervene, turn to page 2. If you decide to make a break for it, turn to page 3.
Let's hit him.
I guess we can hit him since snap isn't an option. Steven,
Yeah.
what do you think?
No, make a break for it.
Well, it's 2 against 1.
Uh-oh. Democracy.
In your face.
You suck.
Oh wait, the storyteller doesn't get a vote.
No.
No,
Storyteller's
I'm supposed to be
impartial.
biased.
We have
Okay.
to gang up on, now that there's
Or
swords,
non-biased.
gang up on whoever.
All right, so you're going to try and protect him?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta beat up Santa. It's fun.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Please don't.
Wrapping your fingers around the baseball bat, you step forward and take a swing at the Santa who had just reached into the loose bag he had pulled down the chimney. As the bat connects, it makes a sickening thud and causes the Santa to collapse to the ground, arms out. Convulsing on the ground, it lets out a few weak ho-ho-hos, while the boy and the girl look away, both fighting their instinct to cry. Just as you bring the bat down over the back of the intruder's head, another voice carries across the room. He's making a list and checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty and nice.
Wow.
The booming voice trails off as you meet the eyes of another Santa who has pushed himself down the chimney head first. He starts to drag himself out of the hearth, grasping a large broken candy cane in one hand and a small rucksack in the other. This one hasn't finished the transition all the way, you judge, as you see it struggle to fit the rest of the way out of the chimney. The girl steps beside you and holds out her hands without saying anything. You pass the bat to her and gather up what supplies you can as she prevents the Santa from following. After giving the boy a bag, you try to listen for sounds outside before cracking the door open a minuscule amount. Once you decide there aren't any other intruders coming, you nod towards the boy and the girl, and they fall in line behind you as the three of you walk out into the cold. The girl passes the baseball bat to you, and you notice 2 new notches have been put into the grip. Soon, it'll be impossible to count how many notches have been made.
Oh my god. So everybody's Santa?
Yeah.
How does he change you?
I don't know.
Which one's the real Santa?
That's a good question.
I have a theory.
What? Tell us.
Yeah,
No theories.
I'm willing to hear the theory.
Well, the one who was singing the Santa Claus is Coming to Town got the lyrics wrong. And he said, making a list, checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. So that Santa obviously does not know the words.
Does not know.
Because it's naughty
Are
or
those-
nice.
Is it naughty or nice?
Naughty or nice, yeah. Why would he
Yeah.
want both?
Well, I mean, everybody's naughty and nice, you know.
Coco's naughty and nice.
Who's naughty and who's nice? I don't know. I don't know if it's and or.
I don't know. I like the theory because it also hides the fact that it had nothing to do with the aforementioned author's problems with remembering lyrics to songs. All right. Without your temporary shelter, the three of you will definitely need more supplies. With this in mind, you steer them towards a local supermarket the three of you had passed the night before. As you approach, a ghastly scene awaits. The parking lot outside the tacky, overly decorated store is devoid of cars. Instead, it has been littered with snowmen. The snowmen are of various shapes and sizes, but all seem to be facing the entrance to the parking lot. A few of them even have scarves and hats. Sensing a trap, you take the lead with the bat, but you'll need to decide who should take up the rear in case something goes wrong. Should you choose the boy or the girl? If you choose the boy, turn to page 4. If you choose the girl, turn to page 5.
Boy.
Yeah,
Boy.
get it back there.
All right.
Agree.
Going with the boy? Okay.
I want him to get taken.
Wow. All right.
I want to see the transformation.
Mm-hmm. You did notice that the boy kept looking for an alternate exit when the first Santa came in earlier. Maybe he should watch the rear as you guys pass through the throng of snowmen. You let him know his job, and although the girl protests at first, the three of you eventually start making your way towards the front doors of the store. With the first few cautious steps, the wind cuts through the coats you've managed to gather. As you pull them shut, you take note of the sounds of the three of you crunching through the fresh layer of snow. You pause for a moment to see if you can notice any shapes in the windows. The girl and the boy stop next to you, but the crunching of snow continues. Turning around towards the source, you find yourself blocked off by a row of snowmen. The two children move closer to you as you raise the bat and knock the head off of a nearby snowman. When you knock into the next one, that all too familiar snap echoes into the crisp air, and the snowman falls apart as a dead Santa tumbles out of it.
What?
Almost as if on cue, several other Santas burst out of nearby snowmen, each reaching greedily for the three of you.
Oh my god. This is so scary. Like this is that Cat Cricket movie level scary.
Yeah.
What's that?
A very
Christmas
merry
cricket?
cricket.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I have
I think
no
that's
idea.
Run, you yell, as you try to reach the doors of the supermarket to get inside. As you run, you can hear the other snowmen fall apart around you. Gloved hands reach out and manage to trip you. Hitting the ground hard, you watch as the girl picks up the bat and manages to take out one of the Santas. A few steps behind, though, the boy has been nabbed. You try to call out to him, but you feel yourself being tugged away towards the supermarket. As you're being dragged towards the entrance, you watch in horror as one of the Santas removes a glove, revealing a shriveled hand
No.
with a candy What?
No.
Says no. Oh, I want to see it. Shut up.
Sorry. All right. You watch in horror as one of the Santas removes a glove, revealing a shriveled hand with a candy stripe rash running along the skin. He plunges his hand into the boy's chest. The boy cries out in pain, but his cries are soon replaced with the horrid laughter that has haunted the three of you for the past 11 days. His face begins to change as he rapidly grows a bushy white beard. He grows a little taller and a lot fatter. Even his clothes begin to change as if they are part of him until a Santa now stands where a boy once did.
Okay, now it's like we have to talk about, like, you can't watch the Santa Claus every night anymore. Like at 2 a.m. I hear the sounds of the Santa Claus in the next room, and I walk out and Paul is just with his nose pressed against the screen every night. It's obviously doing something to you.
Yeah, it's a heartwarming tale about
Why not me?
Feeling crushed, you give up in your struggle against the arms pulling you into the supermarket entrance.
So what would have
Page
happened to the
6.
girl? Would she become a Santa or would she become Mrs. Claus?
I don't know, you guys didn't pick that one. Safe inside the building, you're still reeling from what just happened outside. You get up and pace by the entrance, thankful at least that the locking mechanism seems to still be working. After what felt like a few minutes of processing, you look over to the other child who pulled you inside. However, instead of the girl, you find an adult woman next to you. What? Where's the other kid? You start to reach for the door handle, but she places her hand over yours and shakes her head. You want to argue, but after witnessing what just happened, you know she's right and nothing can be done now. Crumpling to the floor, you sob quietly for a few minutes over the loss of your companions. During this time, the woman doesn't leave your side. When you get up, you realize that instead she's been joined by two hooded figures. Who are these people? How did you survive here? You start to ask as one of the covered strangers slowly pulls back their hood, revealing a rosy-cheeked, fully bearded visage that causes you to press your back into the door. The two cloaked Santas grab you, and as you struggle, you notice the woman in front of you instantly gains several dozen pounds, her clothes turning from a dingy gray to a bright red with white fringe. She bellows a hearty, "Merry Christmas!" as the two others drag you away to a makeshift cell.
No.
Why? Where did the girl go?
Once in the cell, you are left alone outside of occasional food or water brought to you. Over the next couple of days, crowds of Santas are shuffled in front of your cage like an animal in the zoo. Eventually, a Santa much larger than the others shows up and a meeting is held. Although they speak almost entirely broken speech tied together from various Christmas carols, you gather they seem to be having some sort of trial to decide your fate. Eventually, your baseball bat with the many notches is presented, and a hush falls over the crowd that had previously been murmuring little ho-ho-hos.
Oh, this is like general murmuring.
The large Santa steps towards the cage and begins to speak in unbroken English. "Naughty one, you have brought much sadness to our world of peace and joy. Tales have been spread far of a villainous Grinch who had been slaying our brethren with impunity, making it even harder to achieve our goal." Staring back in disbelief, you start to speak, but the Santa holds up a gloved hand. "You see, naughty one, we Santas have had a hard life of constant work. Our one true goal has been to work for the good of people. Year-round, we toiled in workshops, making lists, checking them over and over, preparing toys, managing distributions, and carrying out the will of the Christmas spirit until one day it became clear. If there were only Santas in the world, no Santas would have to work. After millennia, we could finally rest. You not only prolonged our mission and our work, but took the lives of many innocent Santas away before they could experience our new freedom. For this, you cannot be forgiven. For this, we will not let you join us." The tall Santa walks away before you have a chance to say anything in response. Soon the other Santas start to file out of the supermarket. In the end, only one Santa remains. This one a little shorter than the others. The Santa walks up and places a small, crudely wrapped present in front of you before following the others and leaving you utterly alone, trapped in a makeshift cage. Opening it, you find a small, misshapen cookie with the words, "Happy Holidays," written on it in icing. The end.
Oh my god, that's so grim.
Oh.
Merry Christmas!
I loved it.
It was good. Do you want to find out what happens if we choose the... Was it the only one choice? Choose the girl?
Well, there was choosing the girl, and then you guys could have abandoned the kids at the beginning.
Oh, right.
Do you want to choose the girl?
Yeah, let's choose the girl.
Okay.
Goyle.
Get that Goyle out there.
All right. The girl has shown she can easily handle herself, so you entrust her to keep watch on the rear. The boy seems relieved to have a passive role, and the three of you begin to make your way to the entrance to the supermarket. With caution, the three of you try to navigate through the maze of snowmen. On edge, it takes longer than expected. Halfway to the entrance, you hear a haunting melody through the air. Looking up, dread takes hold as you see a red and black cloud heading towards the field of snowmen. "Santa Crows!" you shout to the others as large birds covered in form-fitted red suits begin diving towards the three of you. You wave the bat above you, trying to fight off the crows as they scratch and claw at your arms until you hear a scream from the boy, distracting you long enough to allow a couple of the crows to pry the bat away from you.
Oh my god, I know what you're going to be in your illustration now.
In horror, you watch as the small boy is carried off by several of the Santa Crows. You start to run after him, but end up tripping over one of the downed birds. In a daze, you feel yourself being pulled back towards the supermarket entrance by the girl. A few agonizing moments later, you pass the threshold and can see the crows have dispersed. And then it continues to the supermarket.
Oh my god. Alright, what happens if you leave them?
This wouldn't be the first time you've had to make a tough choice. Sparing yourself their last moments, you slip out of the back and into the cold outside. You manage to ignore their stifled screams at first, but feel a shiver in your spine once you hear the chorus of caroling coming out of the shack. Gripping the baseball bat hard, you press on and spend the next few days making do from scraps you find in nearby buildings. In this time, you add a few more notches to the bat to save yourself, but have had a hard time finding rest. Eventually, as a way of atonement, you return to the shelter. The door has been decorated with wrapping paper and a healthy wreath. As you swing the door open slowly, the bat at the ready in your offhand, you see the fruits of the Santa's work. A tree has been set with ornaments and Christmas lights, garlands line the walls, and there's even a mistletoe above the door entrance. Looking around, you see only 2 spots on the carpet that look out of place. Kneeling down to one of the spots, you find a small lump of coal. This one was where the boy was standing when you left. The other, the girl's last spot.
No.
You put the coal in your makeshift pack and head back out the door into the cold awaiting you outside. The end.
Well, at least you can burn them for warmth.
You can.
Yeah.
Wow. That was intense. Merry Christmas!
Yay.
Wow.
Yay.
No holiday blues
You
here.
were so scary.
Right.
man.
How do you feel if you become a Santa Claus? Is it a good thing?
Probably
is it,
pretty
is it
good.
a good time?
Probably
I think-
always warm.
I think for the most part they're okay with it, but I guess it's also kind of like having a little bit of an infection
Yeah.
that controls you a little bit. Like I feel like you're
Totally like
mostly
that.
there, but you still have to do like you're suddenly way more into Christmas stuff.
That sounds great
That
to me.
zombie
I love
fungus?
rashes.
Yeah. It's not like it's, zombie-like, except zombies
The
seem
zombie
like
ants, like the fungus, the zombie fungus thing. It makes the ant's body do whatever it wants.
Right.
That's Christmas.
Christmas.
All right.
You guys ready for this?
Megan's turn.
Steven,
Megan's
you have
turn.
to-
Amazing
Steven has
time.
to lean up, or
Thank
he's
you.
gonna try to read along. And it's
It's all right. Steph was doing it too.
I can't
No.
read that.
no,
I don't have my glasses on.
no.
Yeah.
All right, what's this called?
Yeah.
It's called Perfect Christmas or Else. You scoot up. You're making me nervous. God. It has a different tone than yours. All right.
We'll see.
It's the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except all the anxiety demons violently prodding your brain. Everything has to go perfectly this year, or you're really going to be in trouble, you think, as you wring your hands desperately. The children have already gone to sleep, and your wife passed out in a wine-induced slumber. You can hear her alcohol snores all the way in the living room, and you angrily recall the task she put completely on your already overworked shoulders. You are to restore the children's faith in Santa, or else no sex until next Christmas.
Oh, no.
I bet you wish...
An ultimatum. Always a sign of a healthy time.
I bet you wishes I'd fail, you think as you sink further into your armchair, grimly recalling the last time you'd slept together as the children trick-or-treated with a neighbor. She was dressed like a zombie, but you doubt her emotionless face was part of any sort of role-playing exercise. The holiday trouble started a week ago when one of your daughter Gretchen's mean-spirited classmates informed her that Santa wasn't real, and that her new stepfather told her it was important to live in a reality-based existence. She'd gone on to tell the youngest, Theodore, the bad news, and it caused a very tense and tear-filled dinner. No one commented on how fabulous your newly perfected lasagna recipe was because of all the emotional turmoil.
I know it's a Christmas story because there's a kid named Theodore.
Yeah, that is a Christmassy name.
Are you reading?
No.
Oh.
Gretchen is also pretty Christmassy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, you have to make sure everyone's happy tomorrow. You'll be damned if no one notices your absolutely ethereal smoked turkey with mandarin cranberry sauce. You've been carefully planning Operation Santa's Back, Baby, very, very carefully. You're running on fumes between working, plotting, and doing holiday shopping, but damn it, you're ready. You throw back the last of your 6th Jameson on the rocks, steel yourself, and look into the mirror. Let's do this thing, you say with the gravity the task deserves. You wonder which part of your plan you should execute first. Should you jump right into the plan, or make sure everyone is definitely asleep before you begin? What's your choices?
I think we should make sure they're asleep. It has to be perfect.
Yeah, perfect Christmas or else. This is dire.
Yeah.
But then again, she sounds like a terrible wife.
Yeah, but like how else are we going to get our dick wet?
Ew, why would you say that?
That's true. That's true.
I was about to say that. So.
All right, I guess I'm overruled then. Let's make sure they're asleep.
Okay, going to page 2. It would be ridiculous to begin your plan if everyone was still awake. You have to make damn sure those little jerks are actually asleep. You sneak into the kids' room as smoothly as silk made out of the night sky. I could totally be the best cat burglar of all time if my career, or for my career, if I wasn't as passionate about crafting edible arrangements, you think to yourself. Here,
Edible?
Edible.
This one looks just a little like your mom.
Yeah.
The urge to pat yourself on the back is strong, but you resist because you don't want to create the deafening sound. Slowly, you take a mirror from your pocket and place it under Gretchen's nose. Slow, even bursts of nose mist fog up the glass. You count the breasts for 2 minutes to ensure they're perfectly even. They are. You do the same to Theodore. All signs point to sleep so far. Next, you pick one of each children's hands up and hold them inches above their faces, and then you let the hands drop. Both children hit themselves in the face. Excellent. If they were awake, they would have stopped themselves. One more just to be safe. You grasp Gretchen's eyelashes and yank upward. Yes.
Crap.
If that isn't rapid eye movement, I don't know what is. You accidentally scream. You panic for a second, but all is well. Both children are still in the depths of slumber. You bend down and whisper, "Sleep well, my faithless heathens. Tomorrow you return to the fold." It's time for the plan to begin. Go on to page 3. You don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Illusion
Take
of
me
choice.
there.
Okay. There are 3 important parts of the plan that need to be done before dawn. All equally important, But you realize it's later than you thought, and you'll only have time for 2 of them. You curse yourself under your breath, then over your breath, and then you give yourself a swirly as a display of penitence. You consider going to get your hair shirt, but before you can, a swirl of white light appears before you, followed by a very traditional-looking angel. You can't help but observe how boring and vanilla the angel's appearance is, and begin thinking of possible makeover options for him. But he stops your train of thought before you can even start to accessorize him. "Hear this," he says magnificently. Only 2 of your Christmas choices will result in the desired effect, while 1 part will lead to failure, and your children will never believe in anything again. Choose wisely. Before you can ask what color aliens are, and also what part of the plan will bring destruction and shame upon you, the angel disappears in a puff of glitter that gets all inside the carpet. Which parts will you choose to do, and which one will you leave out? The time to choose is now. Let's see. The parts include Santa signs, finding a helping hand, and revenge. So, one at a time.
Wait, did you say Santa signs or Santa steins?
Santa signs.
Okay.
Helping hand, Santa signs, or revenge. Which one would you like to do first?
I feel like Santa signs is the safe bet.
I mean, I like helping hand.
Well, just
like
because
helping.
our whole goal is to get our kids to believe in Santa again.
You can do
You know what
2
the
of
real
these.
solution is? We should just choose revenge.
On who?
I don't know.
Revenge.
All right.
Revenge.
Let's do revenge.
Revenge. Yeah.
It seems the most Christmassy.
Yes.
Go to
Santa
page-
would choose revenge.
Page 6. Revenge.
We went deep.
Which means it's a good choice.
Yes.
All right. Now, time for a rock-solid piece of Santa evidence. You begin cursing the little asshole that told your daughter there was no Santa, and now it's payback time. You know exactly where he lives, and head there stealthily with your camcorder tucked safely under your arm. You loom outside the house for effect, and then climb up to the roof and scale the chimney. If Santa can do this, I sure can. Wait, I damn sure can, I guess. You think as you squeeze your thighs down the bricks. Luckily, they don't have a fire going. I probably should have thought about that sooner. All's well that ends well, though. You whisper while emerging into the house. Their living room is decked out with decorations and gifts, mostly from Santa, you notice and scoff. Those all better be filled with coal or I'm gonna lose my mind, you say as you tear open a gift. Roller skates? Oh, hell no. Newly enraged, you locate the child's bedroom and loom over him, also for effect. Then, you place your hand over his mouth and roughly shake him awake. He tries to scream, but your soot-covered hand muffles it considerably. He stops screaming and attempts to say something. "What?" you say. "Santa?" he barely squeaks out. You realize you're covered in soot and are unrecognizable. This hadn't been part of the plan, but it's perfect. Yeah, I'm Santa. And guess what? You're a liar. I heard you've been telling other kids I'm not real, and I'm gonna need you to take it back, or you'll get cold forever. You realize you're screaming. I take it back, he starts to say, but you interrupt and yell, "Into this, you idiot!" gesturing towards your camera. You set it up and are about to say action when a strong hand grabs you roughly from behind. It's the new stepdad, and he's pissed. He knocks you out instantly, and you wake up in a jail cell. Looks like you'll be going away for a while for breaking and entering and attempted murder of a child. I guess your kids won't believe in Santa, or you, ever again. The end.
See, it's good. We got the bad choice out of the way. Now we know that we're gonna succeed. Christmas! Huzzah!
I don't know, that just feels like metagaming.
You know, she could have named it Revenge to, throw us off. I was just covering my bases, and now we know. Mm-hmm. So let's find out how he saves Christmas.
That could have been the best ending, though.
Right. That's true, too.
I mean, yeah. You might find love in prison.
Maybe it's just torture and all the other endings.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He has to stay with his, withholding wife forever and ever.
Yeah.
So, do you guys want to do Santa signs or helping hand first?
Santa signs.
Santa
Yes.
signs.
Okay. You've chosen Santa signs. Good job! Everyone knows the classic tricks to prove Santa was at your house last night. A bite out of a cookie, maybe a piece of fake beard caught on the fireplace.
Oh my god. He just like rips out his hair.
That was Steven's family's thing, apparently.
Really?
What?
Yeah. Every Christmas morning in the grate in the fireplace, there'd be some cotton.
That's horrifying. He's just like in pain, like ah.
Or it's like, we almost got him this year.
Next year we'll have to put barbed wire.
Okay.
That's amazing. I love that.
Wake up the blood around the fireplace.
Steven. Okay, this year, there will be no mistaking that Santa was here and is as real as it gets. First, you grab the plate of Christmas cookies you made earlier in the evening, and briefly remember explaining to the kids that they couldn't have any yet because they were for Santa, and that Mom was just joking about how sexy Santa was, and that she wasn't really going to leave you to live at the North Pole with the real man. You take aggressive...
Aw. Are you talking about that time that Mom scared me with that trucker? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We use CB radios when we go on trips and move and stuff because we moved a lot. And Mom was talking to a trucker on the CB, and he was like, "Hey, you in the van?" And you're like, "Oh God," wow. And I was like, "Mom, please don't leave Dad for a trucker." And I was really upset.
It's kind of like that.
Was it around Christmas?
I don't think so.
I don't know when it was.
Right. You take aggressive bites out of the cookies, and then drizzle them with some duck blood you collected earlier in the week when you made that duck l'orange that your wife didn't seem to care for. Santa sure has a bad case of tooth decay, you say. Ain't nothing more real than that.
Ew.
You also apply the blood to the cotton pieces meant to represent parts of Santa's beard, and put it all over the fireplace, tree, cookie plate, and sprinkled randomly over the carpet.
Oh my God.
I hope Santa's gonna leave some cash for a fucking steam cleaner, you growl. Next, you get the sack of soot you collected from the fireplace, put on some oversized gloves and boots from the Salvation Army, and begin putting hand and shoe prints all over the living room. You stamp soot crazily all over the walls, furniture, freshly bloodied carpet, and a few on the ceiling. Finally, into the hallway leading into the bathroom. What is Santa friggin' blind, you say, practicing your lines for the next morning? You step into the bathroom and put some soot prints all over the sink and toilet for good measure. You've been cooking up your final piece of proof for several days now. You unzip your pants, sit down on the toilet, and ready yourself to view the gallons of green food coloring and edible glitter you've been ingesting.
Oh my God.
It works! The result is the most sparkly, visually stunning green fecal display you've ever seen. It's even better than the red version from yesterday, which you collect from the Ziploc bag in the tank and dump in the bowl also.
Oh my God.
Santa's so busy he forgot to flush, you say, chuckling to yourself. Time for the next part of the plan. So I'm just going to go ahead and lead you to helping hand part.
Sure.
Time to look for a helping hand, you say to yourself as you pull on your coat and head out into the world. Most people sign their gifts from Santa. Some attempt to write differently than usual, or use their non-dominant hand to try and disguise their possibly recognizable scrawl. But not you. You're going one step further this Christmas Eve to make sure no one will even consider you wrote the inscriptions. You head down to the docks to find the perfect hands. Oh yes, you're surrounded by hobos aplenty, but you're looking for the perfect one. Sure, some of them are wizened, some have beards, but none look exactly the part until, suddenly in the distance you see him, the perfect Santa-like hobo. A flickering dock light shines upon his lank white hair like the Star of Bethlehem, and you rapidly approach him. He recoils and says, "Please don't kick me, my ribs is already broken." Kick you? I could kiss you, you say while shaking his shoulders. Listen, my dear man, I have $1,000 in my pocket I've been saving for an emergency, and oh boy, this is certainly one. All you need do is write on these present tags, to Gretchen from Santa and to Theodore from Santa. Maybe write ho 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 or something, and all the cash is yours. The hobo seems hesitant at first, but without another choice, he relents and writes on the tags with possibly the worst writing you've ever seen. It's perfectly believable, you think to yourself. I bet his fat hands would be cramping after writing on every child's gifts. You pay the hobo and happily head back to the house. Now, you would have had more choices if you chose a different order, but you don't have any, so now we're just going to the end.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. The end. With everything in place just in time, dawn breaks and you hear your family stirring. Children come out first and look genuinely shocked. Oh my god, Santa was here, they say in unison. They rush to the presents. Look, he wrote in them. He got his beard caught. He left soot everywhere. He forgot to flush. While your children look at all the evidence, your wife floats in like a storm cloud. What the fuck did you do? She hisses like a rat. I made it fucking Christmas, you hiss back. Are you drunk right now? No, I'm done. After Christmas, I'm filing for divorce, and you can keep the fucking house and kids. I'm done, she says, before retreating back into her hell cave. The possibility of divorce fills you with a sense of wonder and, dare you say it, joy.
Oh.
It's a true Christmas miracle, you shout as your children hug your knees. They begin opening presents, and you start imagining the possibilities laying before you like a blanket of new fallen snow. The end.
Yay! Merry Christmas!
Christmas!
Wow. Amazing. I like that so far we've had terrifying and also lighthearted but disgusting Christmas. The perfect tales.
Hooray!
Because mine is a different feel as well.
Nice.
Megan, amazing story. I loved it so much.
Yes, and thank you for giving us a new thing or new Christmas tradition.
You putting blood all everywhere or shitting blood and
Forgetting
Glitter
the
in the
flash.
toilet.
You can buy
I forgot to flush.
you can buy glitter pills that are just to put glitter in your crap.
It's
real.
so horrifying.
Why?
Have you? I mean, you've tried it.
Wait,
haven't you?
is there toilet paper in the toilet also? Or is it like, oh, he forgot to flush and he forgot to wipe?
You had more important stuff to
He
worry
doesn't
about.
need to use perfect BMs. They don't even touch anything.
They just kind of just go. They leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No trace.
Plus, it sounds like it was pure liquid anyway.
You still gotta wipe. I mean, unless you're just like perfectly smooth.
He
and all-
is,
and
they
all
just
This
said
is
it.
glued up.
Santa we're talking about.
He's perfectly smooth. His vowels are A+.
All right, you guys ready for the last tale?
Yeah.
Is that what your story's called?
No. All right, here we go.
Oh wait, what's it called?
It's called Christmas Wish.
Oh.
All right, Christmas Wish. In the vast snowy tundra, way out there, far away, super far, like so super far away, there dwells a beast. His leathery skin is bright red. He has hazy, white, glowing eyes, horns as long as a longhorn, large, venomous fangs, and he seems to emanate a gentle green glow from the cracks in his armor-like flesh.
Oh.
Most of the time, he slumbers. It's a deep slumber, in a deep cave. One with a shitload of luminous crystals, red and green striped translucent cave shrimps, and the faint scent of peppermint in the air. Yes, he usually sleeps, but once a year, he awakens. He awakens and ventures out into the world of men. For he is the Christmas beast, and his name is Christmas Wish. He's an unusual and magnificent beast, for Christmas Wish was hatched in Santa's own fortress. Interestingly, he was hatched in much the same way as a basilisk, of which Santa has many, except that instead of a chicken's egg hatched beneath a toad, Christmas Wish was hatched from a raven's egg. The raven was named Candy Cane. She'd eaten mostly holly berries the day that she laid Christmas Wish's egg, and she nestled in Santa's most prized Christmas tree.
Aw.
Candy Cane was out collecting twigs and soft shit to make her nest extra comfy cozy, and she left her egg under the care of her dear friend Toboggan, the Christmas cat. Well, you guessed it. Little Christmas Wish was ready to hatch underneath Toboggan, and the rest is history. Christmas Wish makes his way into towns every year in the usual way, standing atop his glittering crimson saucer sled, propelled forward by the awesome power of Christmas spirit, and he leaves a trail of delicious gingerbread persons in his dazzling wake. His glory aside, Christmas Wish's legend is almost as old as Santa's, but it is being told less as the years go by. Yes, sadly, since his image is not emblazoned upon as many popcorn tins as other, less intimidating Christmas folk, he's only remembered by the oldest citizens of the realm of men. The journey from his cave is a long one, and he's always very hungry, for traditional offerings of Christmas broccoli and natty light are growing more rare. Christmas Wish searches and searches, going from doorstep to doorstep, looking for an offering of crimbrock, but he finds none. All he finds are milk and cookies, everywhere he looks. Growing desperate, Christmas Wish decides to try Santa's offering. He's always going on and on about how he has to have milk and cookies. How different can it be from crimbrock and natty light? Very, very different. As soon as he finishes bolting down the plate of cookies, his stomach clenches painfully. He doubles over and groans pitifully. Poison! He always knew Santa was a tough hombre, but his traditional snack feels to him as if he's just downed rocket fuel.
What's crimbrock?
Christmas broccoli, I shortened it.
Okay, sorry.
Desperate for relief, he faces a choice. Christmas Wish could either try to get out of sight, perhaps in a sewer where it's quiet and dark and he can heal, or maybe the men will be able to help him. Maybe he could put his faith in them for comfort? Do you want to go in the sewer and heal, or do you want to go ask for help from people?
Well, I want to get in that sewer.
Sewer.
You're overruled already, Paul.
Yeah, all right. So,
Shut up.
Humans are scary! Christmas Wish knows that they provide the Christmas spirit he needs to survive, but he usually sneaks around. He hasn't interacted with an actual human since the early days. If they didn't leave out any natty, surely they won't understand his strange and glorious appearance. He decides to wait out this illness in the sewer. Yes, Christmas Wish is weak, but he feels he has more of a chance of surviving this Santa food if he could only rest. He spies a sewer grate nearby and worms his way under the streets. And the effort of getting into the sewer has absolutely drained him of any adrenaline he had when seeking shelter. He decides to just curl up where he is and falls asleep immediately. When he wakes, he sees that he's no longer where he fell asleep. Christmas Wish looks around and sees piles of trash, fruit peels, little nests of shredded cardboard and clothing. Behind him he hears the faint sound of tiny little claws, clacking nearer and nearer. He whips around but has to stop suddenly and he grasps his neck in pain. Frozen in pain and fear, he hears snuffling and squeaking, and finally, a little rat wearing a tiny plastic wreath around her neck comes into view. She looks worriedly into his face, putting some broccoli she had been carrying in her front paws down in front of him. She nudges the broccoli toward him and gingerly backs away. Christmas Wish's eyes fill with tears when he realizes this little rat is trying to help. He smiles, takes the broccoli, and reaches towards the rat. She climbs slowly into his hand, and they spend the next few days getting to know each other. Christmas Wish learns that the little rat's name is Peppercorn, and that she's part of a larger family of rats that live in this section of the sewer, and that they've all been out searching for broccoli and natty light since they found him. After a while, they all become a family. They accompany him back to the cave, where they make it feel much warmer and homier. They decorate the place with little lights they scavenged, acorns, cranberry artworks, you name it. When Christmas Wish is hibernating, the rats visit Santa's fortress and are welcomed with open arms. But they always return when it's time for Christmas Wish to awaken. Christmas Wish does not feel the need to return to the realm of men, as he is now the patron saint of Rat Christmas, and he feels content with his new family away from the fickle men who have forgotten him. The end.
Ooh, peppercorn.
Peppercorn! I was actually going to write the story about peppercorn, but then I didn't.
Ah,
Did you say
I see.
were there cranberry artworks?
Yeah. The traditional cranberry artworks
That.
for Christmas.
Okay, I'm unfamiliar. I'm sorry.
Well, Megan?
He
What are you
forgets-
doing?
He forgets immediately.
No,
When I try to
I'm
tell him.
asking you Where are your cranberry artworks?
I hid him under the bed. He beats me when he sees them because he doesn't remember what they are.
What is this? What is this?
It confuses me and it makes me angry.
All right, do you want to see what else happens, or are you good?
Yeah.
Well, so what? We got to see what happens if we go see the men?
Yeah, try to find some help.
Okay.
Christmas Wish has been caring for humans for as long as he can remember. Surely he can find some comfort here in their care. Looking around, Christmas Wish searches for a place to find help, but nothing around him is familiar anymore. Large displays of flashing lights, an oppressive riot of color, the sound of people shrieking and jabbering. It's too much for him. He's sick and afraid, panicking in this unfamiliar and scary place. Christmas Wish starts to run. His vision is blurred with tears, and he keeps running into the men. Some shriek and run away, others attempt to catch him or hurt him. He's got to get out of here! There's nowhere nearby that looks safe, except for maybe a rickety nativity scene in front of a church, but it's not much shelter. Should he attempt to hide in the nativity scene for a while until the panic comes down, or just try to make it back to the cave with what little energy he's got left?
Nativity
Yeah.
scene.
Nativity scene.
I need Christmas Wish to be the baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Christmas Wish dashes into the nativity scene, pressing himself into the dark spaces. He looks back out toward the street, checking if the men saw his hiding spot, but there doesn't seem to be anyone paying him any attention. Except for there is! A little girl saw his panicked flight and is making her way toward him. She is dressed in a poofy, lace-hemmed, clearly uncomfortable church dress and is accompanied by her parents. They don't seem to be paying attention to her as she draws nearer to the nativity scene. Christmas Wish's heart is racing. Any moment now she could shriek and alert the men to his presence, but then she doesn't. She just stands still in front of the scene, looking at him and holding out her hand. Should he take it? She seems to be trying to help, and he doesn't detect any malice in her. Maybe he should go with her. But the last time he was out there, people were scary. Maybe he should just scare her away? What do you want?
Scare him.
No.
Scare him.
Ugh.
Christmas Wish doesn't trust her, doesn't trust any of the men. The tears are still hot on his cheeks, and he decides not to scare her, because that's mean, but just run for it, attempting to get back to the seclusion and safety of the cave. Gotcha! Christmas trick!
Fake choice.
It's still a choice. Out in the tundra, he slowly flies toward the cave, but his suffering, not to mention his illness from the Santa snack, has drastically inhibited his power. The light that shines from within his armor flickers and fades. He falls to the ground and lays there weeping. Christmas Wish is scared, and he gives in to the thought that Christmas is for jerks and he might as well just lay here and perish. Christmas Wish, you are never alone, little angel. Suddenly, there's a burst of light and magic. Christmas Wish opens his eyes and is blinded by the dazzling majesty of the Angel of Christmas, Michael Bublé. He is glowing so brightly that CW has to squint to keep from going blind. Michael Bublé places a comforting hand on Christmas Wish's shoulder, wraps him in a blanket, puts cute socks over his giant horns, gives him a plate of Krimbrock, and tells him to let it all out and to tell him all about what those mean men did. After Christmas Wish is all cried out, he sits up and allows himself to be cradled by the powerful Michael Bublé. Michael beams down at him and angelically hums a Christmas carol, using his magic to transport them to Santa's fortress. After he settles Christmas Wish in a comfy nest, Michael Bublé and Santa murmur to each other, casting caring glances over at him. Finally, Santa walks over, crouches down, and speaks comfortingly to Christmas Wish. He tells him that the world has changed and that while he's a big boy and very good, men need a time out because of how they treated him. Santa tells him to stay at the fortress for as long as he likes. And there he remains to this day. Christmas Wish has grown content in his life at the fortress, running wild with the basilisks, eating Christmas cookie-shaped broccoli, and singing carols joyfully with his mother's candy cane and toboggan. Men do not get the privilege of Christmas Wish's gifts ever again because they are mean and terrible and make bad choices. The end.
Yay! Christmas Wish! Peppercorn!
Peppercorn!
But what about his natty light?
He can have all the natty light he wants at the fortress. There's one more ending. Do you guys want to hear it or not?
Yeah.
All right.
So what is this from?
This is when the little girl is offering her hand. He can take it.
Oh, okay. instead of scaring her as he rightfully should have.
I mean, he is pretty scary. Like, this guy he looks like the devil. All right, Christmas Wish reaches out, heart racing, tears still streaming down his face. The little girl takes his hand, pats it comfortingly, and leads him to her parents. They seem a little startled, but see that he means no harm and has been crying. They take him to their home and feed him all the broccoli and natty his little tum-tum can hold. Christmas Wish feels bolstered by their care, completes his Christmas duties, and returns to his cave for hibernation. The next year, Christmas Wish returns to the realm of men, albeit a bit apprehensively. When he arrives, he sees great mounds of Christmas broccoli and natty on every doorstep, just as it was in times of yore. It seems that the little girl has spread his story to the other children, and his legend was revived forevermore. The end.
Christmas Wish!
Christmas Wish!
I also just like the implication that, like, ancient men had natty light as well.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm. They did. Thousands of years old.
So yeah,
That
they
was a
were
great
all
story.
they were all good endings because I didn't want anything bad to happen to him. So I just loved him so much, and I was like, I could write an ending where he dies, but I won't. Michael Bublé will save him. Oh, Michael! It was either him or Mariah. So
I think you made the right choice.
Yeah. Mariah's busy.
yeah, she is pretty busy, but still, don't
Michael's
like
pretty
you
busy.
saying that. I know that you don't like Mariah, and you don't
What?
find her Christmas songs to be part of Christmas.
They're part of it.
But they are.
Wait, who?
Part of it. Oh.
Paul,
Mariah
what?
Carey.
Oh, her
like-
Christmas song is canon now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul. It
He's
is.
gonna.
Look-
Well, I'll play it for him after.
Yeah. We'll
No, it's just like that wasn't the music that my family played growing
All
up.
you played
Sad
was the
Peanut
Charlie
Christmas.
Brown
It was
soundtrack.
just Little Drummer Boy over and over.
No, it was honestly mostly the Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack every year.
Well, that's a good.
So mournful.
Yeah, you need to get some Chicago Christmas special.
Yeah.
I have experienced some Chicago Christmas.
Yeah,
So I'll say.
that's what you listen to. That's the stuff.
Yep.
We did it.
We did.
Wait,
Yeah.
my story.
Oh.
Oh,
All
yes,
right. Oh,
yes,
Steven.
Steven's story.
Okay, this story is called "The Bestest Elf."
Okay.
Nice.
So it's the night of December 24th, and Santa calling all of his reindeer. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen. Are you here, guys? And they're all like, "Yeah, we're here, Santa." And then he calls for Theodore, his favorite, best elf. Theodore! It's December 24th. It's Christmas Eve. We have to get on the sleigh and get ready to deliver these presents. Oh, Santa, Theodore says. I ate too many candy canes last night. I don't think I can go. Santa says, Theodore, that's not like you. You have to come. You're the only one who can help me deliver all these presents. Oh, I don't think I
Let
can
him
go.
stay.
I don't think I can go, Santa, Theodore says, while puking.
Oh, that's what that was.
that was puke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was outward, not inward.
Right.
So Santa looks around. He can't deliver all these presents himself. The only people around are Paul, Stephanie, Megan, and Steven.
Hey, that's us.
Who do you pick to help him deliver all the Christmas presents?
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul.
I'll have to do it. I'm just tired.
All right, we're going with Paul. All right, Paul, please, I need your help delivering all these presents. Paul says, "Well, Santa, I could try. You know, I've never done this before, but I do pride myself on delivering presents."
He does, that's true.
So Santa and Paul get in the sleigh, and off they go to deliver all the presents to the children. Hey, Paul, Santa exclaims, why don't you take the reins? Give this a shot. It's so great driving the sleigh. Paul takes the reins. Let me show you what I got, Santa. And down they go and crash and they die. The end.
Oh.
I mean, that sounds pretty accurate.
Wow. Okay.
So, who do you want to pick
That was
next?
amazing
Who do you want to pick
tale.
next?
No.
let's see.
Oh,
No.
Stephanie? Okay, same story, and then they
Yeah.
crash and they
Yeah.
die.
Oh,
Oh, no. Who do you want to pick next?
wait. Oh,
All right,
Megan.
Megan.
All right,
Megan.
Megan gets in the sleigh. Santa says, Megan, you want to take the reins? It sure is fun to drive a sleigh. Megan grabs the reins. Sure. Oh, down they go, and they crash and they die.
I choose Steven. He's the best choice.
No.
Best for last.
So Santa exclaims, Stephen, do you want to take the reins and deliver these presents to all the children? And Stephen goes, yes, of course, Santa. And he takes the reins. Oh, and they go faster than Santa's ever gone. And Stephen delivers all the presents really quickly. And Santa's like, oh, man, you're the best. Stephen, you are now Santa. The end.
Ugh.
Hey, we know
Man.
Santa. We
That was
can
beautiful.
get extra gifts extra fast.
I've been writing that since Halloween.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. I mean,
I believe it.
my compliments. I can't believe, the last choice was the
Ow.
best one. And that's
Yeah.
usually we pick the best choice the first try and then we have to just kind of slog through the rest of it. But this time we did it right.
Right. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Loved it. Amazing tales. Wow. The perfect end.
So, if you want to tell us about your own Christmas tales,
Please tell us your Christmas tales.
Oh.
Megan.
you can email us at strangepathspodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, where you can tweet at us and send us Christmas memes and such at Strange Path Pod on Twitter.
Or you can tell me what's in your stocking at other one at bozosglowglobes@gmail.com. Oh, God. Well, it looks like Steven just wrote in and asked, what about the Jewishes?
Oh.
Well,
See, that's what Christmas Wish's job is. Because his name's Christmas Wish and he does Hanukkah stuff.
he does Hanukkah stuff, too.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I didn't tell you what he did.
Yeah,
Right.
he does Hanukkah
It's just because
stuff.
I don't really know much about, Hanukkah, so I didn't want to insult anybody, but Christmas Wish is the Hanukkah guy.
Well, this episode might be coming out during Hanukkah, so it's kind of for them too.
All right.
I thought it was over.
It's for everyone.
It might be over.
Okay.
Yeah, this podcast is for everyone.
It is for everyone.
Yeah.
It is. Why wouldn't it be? What the hell?
Way to be divisive, Stephen.
Yeah, Steve, we're going to cut that out. Okay.
So, thank you for joining us again, Stephen.
Thank you for having me. I loved every second of it. Merry Christmas.
We liked your tale. We're so happy you wrote a
Yeah.
tale for us and took a lot of care in writing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and all the other ones.
Yeah, all the things that you do at the end of the year.
Right.
Hooray.
Happy, awkward sitting around your family and watching and locking eyes with them one by one as they each open a single present.
Excuse me.
Anyway, catch you next time. Bye.
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 I didn't say bye. Bye.